everybody, welcome to the Interact Gaming Podcast, the only podcast that can explode! That's the only sound effect I'm going to do, so if you're expecting any more, interactivity with, me editing stuff, you have to understand I am a very lazy man. The only podcast that can... Yeah. Insert explosion sound effect the moment I said that. The only podcast that can encounter a Dark Souls hacker and not lose their account. My name is Roger Lane, and I am joined by Mr. Dadspicable himself, JJ Perales.
Hello, everyone.
If you want your voice to be heard, or you just want to tell us off for having a different opinion than you, it happens, head on over to Facebook and request access into the Interact Gaming Media Group. We got games, memes, opinions, and Lewis. On today's episode, we take a look at the reveal trailers for both Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and why this might be the year that kills everybody's favorite first-person shooter. And we also talk about a lot of other stuff, but before we get to all that, before we touch on any of it, JJ, what have you been playing this week?
I'm still stuck on Monster Hunter, man. But other than that, I did take the time to try out Overwatch, and I actually had a lot of fun doing it. I mean, we talked about it earlier via Facebook messages, but I think there was a misunderstanding. I liked the game, but I've played so many of the hero shooter genres that it's kind of like it's the best of the ones that I've played. However, it's still a hero shooter, and I'm really used to them. So it didn't blow me away as it did everybody else, it seems, but it's still really good compared to all the other ones I've played.
So what you're trying to say is you have only played Monster Hunter all week. You haven't tried any other game, but you did try one game, which is one of the topics that we have later on in the show that we can discuss further on, but you really have nothing else to say?
Yes.
So this week I played Tales from the Borderlands, which
oh God,
kind of surprised me a little bit because I am really tired, and when I say tired, I mean I'm dead tired of the TellTale formula. And it's not so much their writing. Their writing has always been relatively on point. Like they have a good idea of what they want, and they're good at pursuing that. My issue is in terms of the predictability, the lack of diversity in your decisions, and good Christ, that game engine. Like, I don't know if they can get their games to look any more stiff, but that is such an important aspect of gaming now. It's the acting, and sure, they get quality voice actors, but I don't want to harp too long on it because I definitely did enjoy, Tales from the Borderlands I think I played 4 episodes of it, so I'm pretty much done. But the main issue I have with this game is kind of an issue I have with all TellTale games, and it's just the fact that it seems like such a copy and paste job on so many points in their process that it never really feels new. It feels like I've already done this. And like most TellTale games, after episode 1, things slowly start to kind of, go downhill. But, to get a little more positive, Tales from the Borderlands is definitely probably the best. I don't want to say best, maybe second best next to The Wolf Among Us. That one was really, really innovative, and we can talk about that one later, when I've actually gone back, because I'm probably going to end up playing it. Tales from the Borderlands, though, it's really funny. It's really funny. The characters are really well acted. You really do care about them going from episode to episode. I liked it, but I guess a lot of those things that hold back a lot of TellTale games really does kind of stick around, and it makes me not like Tales from the Borderlands as much as I think other people do, because I've played a lot of TellTale games, and I think maybe people haven't, and they jumped in on this one after maybe The Walking Dead. But having played Minecraft Story Mode, having played The Wolf Among Us. Well, I played it because my sisters, they really wanted. So I played it, because why not? And I was actually impressed. I'm like, this is fun too, but same thing as the other ones. It's like, it's so safe. At no point can I have anybody die. Like, I know it'll take a lot of programming, but how little programming does it take for them in that it's a straight shot everywhere? Everything is a straight shot.
And then with the Minecraft Story Mode, it from the humor and the graphics and everything, it kind of looks like it's aimed towards a younger audience. But then they kind of pander to the younger audience because of the fact that it's freaking Minecraft. If kids are playing Minecraft, they're pretty smart because you know you have to deal with the redstones. You don't really have too much of a tutorial, and like regular Minecraft where you're actually crafting and engineering stuff as like an 8-year-old kid going to Minecraft story mode and just being fed bullshit because it's just like kind of cherry picking and being like, oh, don't worry, you won't die to the quick time event, but it's just over and over. And then, oh my god, the comedy's funny, but then they take it away and then they start adding drama and more drama, and it just plateaus at a point, and you're just like, dude, this is stupid. And I know that's a formula that each Telltale games follows, like semi-comedic or kind of normalized, and then it just keeps going up and up and up and down, down, down. And it's a roller coaster effect of drama, which is understandable because that's what they're going for, episodic storytelling driven games. But there's other stories to be told other than just something dramatic or life threatening.
I mean, exactly. And I think a lot of the issues that I have with the game are reservations I have about those other games, because Telltale has a formula, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, they're known for their writing, they're known for their, character building, but I feel like they've gotten lazy. And because they've gotten lazy, a lot of their products are starting to reflect that. And I honestly can't think, man, after The Walking Dead season 1, which was their breakout hit, it just feels like they got lazier and lazier and lazier. But then again, they're probably one of the busiest gaming studios out there right now, so it could just be a matter of they don't have the time, and they want to put the time into their products, but they can't because, I mean, how many games are they working on now?
I believe it's 4 or 5.
It's The Wolf Among Us season 2, The Walking Dead season 3, the Batman game that's supposed to come out from
and
Telltale.
I believe that there's a final Minecraft story mode coming out. If not, then because I watched a video yesterday and I feel like that they're working on the last one, but it's kind of, they're not sure because you can't really tell, because each end of the season or each end of like a story arc kind of seems like the end, but then they just add something else.
Yeah, and that's definitely an issue with Minecraft story mode. And I know distinctly, I remember that it was supposed to have 5 episodes, or 6, I think it was 6. It's supposed to have 6 episodes like every other Telltale property out there. But seemingly out of nowhere, if you have the season 1, you bought that, which my sisters did, they added like 3 new episodes that are set to come out. And it's like, dude, this story isn't that good. Like, this story is kind of boring and it's kind of predictable. Like, it's Minecraft. You'd think building and, architecture and stuff like that. But they're going on this...
They take that away.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm getting too deep on the Minecraft aspect of it. I'm gonna jump back to Tales. Tales really does a good job of capturing the Borderlands type of humor. I enjoyed it, since I actually wasn't that big of a fan of Borderlands, but I did like the humor. I adore Handsome Jack, and I think he's woefully underutilized in this game. Spoiler alert, but not really a spoiler alert. It's more of a reassurance. Handsome Jack is in this in a way that I think you don't know, and it really works out well. This game does take place after Borderlands 2, so whatever happens in that aspect of the game it carries on here. And it's really, kind of refreshing. Like, he has always been that kind of like, I guess, beam of light in the dark when it came to the Borderlands series for me. I know I'm in the minority there, but
he's an enjoyable character. I mean, yeah, it's an acquired taste because it's kind of a arrogant dickhead, but he's still funny, especially with the random shit he comes up with, torture wise or whatever.
No, well, what I mean is, I'm in the minority when it comes to liking Borderlands, and in me disliking Borderlands. No, I think everybody likes Handsome Jack. He's such a piece of shit, and that's what's funny about him. But I got the game for $3 on G2A. and I think that is a pretty exceptional deal considering that I've had a lot of AFK, and it says I've played 23 hours, and that's not right. But I'm going to say I put in maybe a solid 4 or 5 hours so far, which is pretty okay. Maybe even more. Maybe
That's
like
a lot of AFK, man.
yeah, exactly. Maybe like 5 or 6 hours, but still, I mean, considering I paid that much, it's good. But if you're going on Steam, if you're going to the store and you're gonna buy this for $20, just don't expect it to change your life. The other game I played and actually really quite enjoyed. I know I talked about this a little bit on the forum before, and I think on the podcast, I don't remember. I got to play Battlefront because
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
May the 4th, they released.
Be with you.
Yes, and also with you. The Battlefront, the Battlefront trial had released on May the 4th, which gave you 4 hours, of trial time that you could play the full game and just, play around with it, see if you liked it. And it was also on sale for $20. So
$4? Oh,
yeah, 4 hours, $20. So
$4.20.
oh my god.
You're
right.
They did it. They fucking did it.
Well, to be fair, it's like 423, so they almost did it. It was on their laps and they just shot it down. But yeah, for the price, that's definitely a solid. Yeah, it's still on sale, $23.99. Still a very, very solid price for what you're getting. I was planning on buying it, and I'm still somewhere in the middle, and I'll explain why. The game is a hell of a lot of fun. The blaster combat, once you get used to the fact that and I talked about this a long time ago on the podcast with Brody, the lasers have travel time, so you need to kind of compensate for that and maybe aim ahead or, aim behind a little bit depending on where your target is moving. But in terms of just feeling like you're on this colossal battlefield, it does such an excellent job of doing that. Everything from the sound to the graphics to the gameplay, it all feels very, very good. And for $20, it's a pretty solid deal. What has me a little hesitant about jumping in on this, I mean, even for $20, I mean, that's a great deal, is that I kind of still feel like it's lacking content. $20 is about right for the amount of content, maybe even more, maybe $30 would be fair. But I don't know. I feel almost schemed a little bit because if you actually check out the season pass, which they have confirmed content is coming all the way up until early 2017. Like, they have not released very much at all of any kind of DLC. They recently released, I forgot the name of the expansion, but they did release a subsection of the season pass, the first fourth of it. But the season pass is still $60. So I feel like that's where the meat and potatoes of it is, and I know I'm going to end up jumping for that. And the fact that it's still $60, even though they've confirmed that, their numbers are declining, I feel like it's $20 because they know there's not a whole lot there, and they're going to really get you with the season pass. So still you're spending like $80 on a game. So I don't know about that. I may jump in early 2017, so that way I can have the whole thing right there to play. Even if there isn't as many players, I really don't give a shit. But that's the main caveat where I really don't want to get the game. But I mean, I had a hell of a lot of fun with it. I mean, like I said, everything from the sound to the actual feeling of being on the battlefield, it's all there.
So to be clear, you only played the 4 hours allotted, and you haven't bought it yet.
Exactly. Yeah, I was,
right.
And I'm still tempted because it is still on sale, and it's mostly just a bad taste in my mouth kind of thing, where I want to jump in on this, but at the same time, I know that I'm going to end up spending the $50 for the season pass, and I just don't know if I want to do that right now. And considering that apparently it's Origin, dude. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not G2A. Origin has it for $24. It's gonna get lower. They very
Yeah,
clearly.
exactly.
Their standard edition, they charge 60 because everybody charges 60, and then they went, okay, but how much content is really here? And they're like $24. I mean, this game's only been out. Well, it's been out for a decent amount of time, I guess. It's been out for almost like half a year, but based on their trajectory with what they're going to do with expansions. Oh, it's called Outer Rim. That's the DLC pack. And it adds stuff, like you get 2 new heroes, you get a bunch of weapons, you get new maps, 4 map. Okay, it says you get 2 new playable hero characters, 4 multiplayer maps, 2 new blasters, 3 additional star cards, and a new game mode. Which, like I said, I mean that's pretty solid for DLC. $15. Again, I mean Call of Duty has really fucked people over worse with that kind of stuff. The fact you're getting a game mode, 4 maps, 2 blasters, 2 weapons, 3 new types of star cards, which are the kind of like random upgradable things you can throw out in battle. Like a star card, for example, would be like a grenade. You can equip a grenade and like you can randomly throw grenades. And then have 2 new heroes you can play as. It's a lot of content for $15, and I think that's pretty fair. Or you could just get the season pass for $50. But like I said, I kind of just want to wait it out, see what they're going to deliver it, like all in all. Yeah, but I mean, if you are interested in getting Battlefront, I definitely suggest you check it out because I had a lot of fun with it. Naturally, I played Overwatch, but we can talk about that a little bit later for a topic because that's kind of a bigger deal.
Yeah.
Did you play anything else? I mean, other than Monster Hunter, JJ, if you start talking about Monster Hunter, dude, I'm gonna strangle you through this microphone.
Well, I'm at 119 hours on MH. So yeah, I mean, I not a lot of room to play many other games, but I did play a little bit more of what is it, Shantae and Risky's Revenge. It's like a 2D platformer. She's a genie, but now she turned human in the previous game. Yada yada. So yeah, I mean, I haven't really been up to too much. There is a game that I want to mention. It's called Cuphead in Don't Deal with the Devil. It's like this 1950s hand-drawn action platformer, and it just looks amazing. It looks exactly like Steamboat Willie, except you're playing it. It's I can't even. I just can't even. It looks amazing, and I want to play it because it's kind of like a little bit like Mega Man, except if all the Mega Man levels were only Mega Man versus the boss, and that's it.
I've always been I've been following the Cuphead, kind of like hype train for a while, and I know me and Brody had a lot of back and forth saying that the Xbox One was definitely going to be. That was going to be one of its biggest titles, even though it was an indie. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a fun-looking game. Has it come out yet? I don't think it came out, did it?
No.
I mean,
it's being showcased right now in what do you call it? In like E3 and those other gaming packs. Yeah, it's just being showcased right now, and they've been working on it. They're expecting a release date for 2016. It's going to be on Steam and Xbox One. I'm not too sure about PlayStation 4 release though.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably eventually going to hit PS4, even though they've been pretty adamant about their Xbox exclusivity. But
yeah.
I'm about 100% sure it's eventually going to hit the PlayStation.